Aashiqui 2 is a 2013 Bollywood romantic musical drama film directed by Mohit Suri. Starring Aditya Roy Kapoor and Shraddha Kapoor in the lead roles, it was produced by Bhushan Kumar, Krishan Kumar and Mukesh Bhatt under the T-Series and Vishesh Films banners. Set in the early 2010s, Aashiqui 2 is a love story centering around the turbulent relationship between musicians Rahul and Arohi, a relationship which is affected by Rahul's issues with alcohol abuse and temperament. The film is the sequel to the 1990 musical blockbuster Aashiqui, and initially caused concern in the Indian media that the film could live up to the high standards and success of the original. It holds noted similarities to 1976 American musical film A Star Is Born. Production of Aashiqui 2 began in 2011, with the principal photography taking place in Cape Town, Goa and Mumbai on a budget of 90 million. A film which premiered on April 26, 2013 received a positive to mixed critical reception and became a major commercial success at the box office despite featuring newcomers, earning 1.1 billion worldwide. It was declared as a blockbuster by Box Office India after its 3-week box office run, and is ranked among one of the highest-grossing Hindi film of 2013 and the highest-grossing film ever produced by Vishesh Films. The soundtrack to the film became very popular after its release. The songs Tum Hi Ho and Sunn Raha Hai topped the charts across various platforms in India. The film is currently being remade into Telugu as Ne Jathaga Neenundali, starring Sakshi and Jay Joshi and Nazia Hussain. The Telugu version is being directed by Jara Ravindra and produced by Bandla Ganesh. Plot: a film begins by showing a large crowd waiting for Rahul Jaikar, a successful musician whose career is waning because of his alcohol addiction, to perform at a stage show in Goa. After nearly completing a song, he is unexpectedly interrupted by Aryan during his performance. Rahul fights him, stops his performance, and drives to a local bar. He meets Arohi Keshav Shirk, a Maharashtrian bar singer who idolizes Rahul. After noticing Arohi looking at a photograph of Lata Mangeshkar in the bar, he assumes that she wants to become a singer. Impressed by her simplicity and voice, Rahul promises to transform her into a singing sensation, and asks her to never perform again in bars. Arohi quits her job and returns to Mumbai with Rahul, who convinces record producer Sagal to meet her. When Arohi calls Rahul, he is attacked and injured by some unknown people, and is unable to receive her call. His friend and manager Vivek says that news of Rahul's accident should not be leaked to the media, and instead publicizes a false story that Rahul has left the country to participate in stage shows. When Arohi attempts to contact Rahul again, Vivek ignores the calls. After 2 months of fruitlessly attempting to contact Rahul, a broken Arohi is forced to sing in bars again because of her family problems. After recovering from his injuries, Rahul vows to search for Arohi. He learns that Arohi is working in a bar again and that Vivek had ignored her calls without informing him. Rahul apologizes to Arohi and sacks Vivek, and they meet with Sagal for the recording agreement. Rahul begins to train Arohi, who signs a music contract to sing in films and becomes a successful playback singer. Her family and Rahul are happy, but when people begin to gossip that Rahul is using her as a servant, he relapses into alcohol addiction. Arohi, who loves Rahul more than her career, comforts him and make love. Despite Arohi's mother's disapproval, Arohi moves in with Rahul and things go well until Rahul's addiction worsens, causing him to become aggressive and violent. To help Rahul fight his alcoholism, Arohi attempts to rehabilitate Rahul, sacrificing her singing career in doing so. After Sagal reminds them about their dream of Arohi becoming a successful singer, Rahul orders her to focus on her work. During Arohi's stage show, Rahul meets a journalist backstage, who accuses him of using Arohi for pleasure and money. Furious, Rahul beats up the journalist and starts drinking. He ends up in jail, and Arohi comes to bail him out. Rahul overhears Arohi telling Sagal that she is going to sacrifice her career for him and is ready to give up her celebrity status because Rahul is more important to her. Rahul understands that he has become a burden in her life, and that leaving her is his only option to save her. Your next day he bids her farewell and commits suicide, distraught by Rahul's death. Arohi decides to quit her career but Vivek persuades her to stay. He reminds her that Rahul wanted her to become a successful singer and has given his life as he did not want to be a burden on her. Arohi agrees, and resumes her career as a singer. Later, she signs her name as Arohi Rahul Jaika in a fan's handbook as a tribute to Rahul and her unsung desire to marry him. As rain starts falling, she watches the couple who took her autograph sharing a romantic moment under a jacket as she and Rahul had done when he was alive. Cast: Aditya Roy Kapoor as Rahul Jaika, Shraddha Kapoor as Arohi Keshav Shirk, Shard Randhawa as Vivek, Mahesh Thakur as Sehgal uncle, Shubhangi Latkar as Arohi's mother, Chitrak Bandyopadhyay as Salim Bhai, Mahesh Bhatt as Rahul's father, Salil Acharya as Aryan. Production, development. In September 2011, the Indian media reported that Mahesh Bhatt and Bhushan Kumar were keen to remake the 1990 musical blockbuster Aashiqui. Kumar approached Bhatt for a possible sequel, although it was Shraddha Rafik's melodramatic romantic script which persuaded him that the film had potential as a sequel and decided to proceed with the project. Given Aashiqui's status in Hindi cinematic history as one of the finest Indian musicals of all time, many expressed concerns towards the decision to remake the film, dubious that the producers could come up with a soundtrack on par with the quality of the 1990 film. Bhatt stated that they completely resisted the temptation to use the soundtrack of the earlier film, and promised that Aashiqui 2 would revive the era of melodious film music, as Aashiqui had done 22 years ago. It was reported that Madhur Bhandakar had been approached to direct the film, but later turned down the offer because of other working commitments. It was confirmed in November 2011 that Vishal Mahajka, director of Blood Money, was to direct the picture, but the following month it was announced that Mohit Suri had replaced Mahajka as director at the last minute. Bhatt confirmed the development, saying earlier we had finalized Vishal for the project. But now we have scrapped that idea and found a fresh one. We got Mohit to direct the film. Several media outlets falsely reported that the film is a remake of the Vishesh Films' 1990 love triangle Aashiqui. However, Mahesh Bhatt denied the rumors and said Aashiqui 2 is not a remake of any of our films. It's an original script. A very contemporary love story dealing with mature emotions. Casting: a film was earlier offered to Pakistani actor Imran Abbas Naqvi, however he refused due to his busy schedule. The film's producers then launched a nationwide talent hunt to discover new faces for the film, initially refusing to employ established actors. However, the actors who came to audition were not promising enough for the roles, and the idea was scrapped. Mahesh Bhatt said, "It was a disastrous talent hunt. We discovered that people lacked the courage to audition. Those who were amateurs went for audition. And people with certain talent were like, why should we risk public rejection?" When Suri saw some pictures of Aditya Roy Kapoor and met him, he found Kapoor perfect for the role and cast him to play the male lead. In June 2012, Shraddha Kapoor was signed to play the female lead. Bhatt said, "Yes, Shraddha Kapoor is playing the lead with the two boys Aditya Roy Kapoor and Shard Randhawa. We found her to be very talented. All three actors have extremely challenging dramatic roles." When asked about replacing new actors with known ones, Suri said, "People said I couldn't make a film with new actors and expect an audience to come in. But I was pretty sure I wanted Aditya and Shraddha to play my protagonists. My writer Shraddha Rafik and I saw them as the protagonists." See, Aditya and Shraddha may have had unsuccessful films before, but that never took away from their talent. Filming: principal photography for the film began in October 2012 with film's lead cast. The film was shot in Goa, Mumbai and Cape Town. During the filming in South Africa, Shraddha Kapoor needed medical attention after kneeling on broken glass fragments during the scene in which she had to kneel on the floor and talk to her co-star Aditya Roy Kapoor. Aditya Roy Kapoor also received burns to his hand during the filming of the scene in which they light some Chinese lanterns in Cape Town. Soundtrack: the 11 songs of the film soundtrack were mostly composed by Jeet Ganguly, although Mithoan and Ankit Tiwari composed 2 songs each as guest composers. Irshad Kamal wrote lyrics for most of songs on the album. Sandeep Nath wrote both versions of Sunn Raha Hai, while Mithoan wrote Tum Hi Ho. Arijit Singh sang 6 of the songs on the album. The music became very popular after its release on April 8, 2013, with songs Tum Hi Ho and Sunn Raha Hai topping the charts across various platforms in India. Aashiqui 2's soundtrack received generally positive reviews from music critics, who praised the songs Tum Hi Ho and both versions of Sunn Raha Hai. The Times of India rated the album 5 out of 5 stars and wrote, Aashiqui 2 tries, and succeeds to some extent in matching the repeat value's freshness and allure of the original. And while it is unfair to compare a sequel to the original, it needs to be said that each should be seen for its own merit. Glamsham gave a rating of 4 stars out of 5 and said, "It is indeed an exhilarating experience listening to the songs of Aashiqui 2, and in this age of mundane and average repetitive musical fares that are being churned out, the audio of Aashiqui 2 is surely a treat for all music buffs. Tum Hi Ho and Sunn Raha Hai are our favourites, but Sharmania Noor and Piya Ano end up as a close second. A chart-busting musical experience indeed." Koimoy rated the album 3 out of 5 and said, Aashiqui 2 is an album that had set its heart in the right place and wanted to accomplish what Aashiqui did musically. It has the ingredients in place, though at times one gets an impression that the recipe could have been a tad better. One waits to see if the soundtrack would indeed turn out to be memorable for a lifetime, more so since Bhatt had musically created a high standard with Aashiqui. Planet Bollywood gave a rating of 6.5 out of 10 and praised the contributions of Ankit Tiwari and Mithoan Shines with their single compositions, but believed that the remaining songs by Jeet Ganguly lacked freshness and were too repetitive apart from Sharmania Noor and Tum Hi Mujhsere. A mashup was later released as a single on June 12, 2013. Marketing and release: the first teaser was released on March 22, 2013, and was well received by critics and audiences. Unlike other films whose theatrical trailers are released first, the makers of the film chose to release the songs before the trailer. The first song, Tum Hi Ho, was released on March 23, 2013. The song became an instant hit with approximately 2 million views on YouTube within 10 days of release, which helped in the marketing of the film. Various versions of the song were uploaded by amateur singers, guitarists and DJs on social networking sites. It has been trending on Twitter and YouTube since its launch. The film's preview poster showing Aditya and Shraddha under a jacket in a rain-drenched street with a street light casting a glow was released along with music on April 8, 2013. At the music release event, Aditya and Shraddha recreated the scene from Aashiqui from under a jacket on the stage. The theatrical trailer was released in mid-April 2013, 2 weeks before the film's release, and was well received by critics and audiences. Unlike most Bollywood films which indulge in months of promotion before the release, Aashiqui 2 had less than 3 weeks for promotion before its release. A music concert where singers performed to their respective songs was organized to promote the film. The makers of the film launched the Aashiqui 2 jackets, as seen in the film's poster. Statues resembling the signature image of the couple hiding under the jacket were placed inside various theaters. Due to the romantic theme of the film, it was originally planned for a Valentine's Day release on February 14, 2013, but this was postponed because of production delays. The film's new release date was May 10, 2013, but it was released a fortnight early on April 26, 2013 in over 2,800 screens across India. The film was not released in key markets such as UK, US, Canada, Australia and New Zealand. Reception: the film received positive to mixed reviews from critics, who praised the performances, chemistry between the lead pair, and the music. Tarun Adarsh of Bollywood Hungama rated the film 4 out of 5 stars, stating that it brings romance back on the Hindi screen. Intense, pure, selfless and heart-wrenching. A stirring account with brilliant moments, bravura performances, strong emotional quotient and addictive music, this one's an absolute must-watch for the romantics. He praised the lead cast's performances, writing that Aditya Roy Kapoor's depiction of the intense character is outstanding. which clearly demonstrates his potency as an artiste of caliber and competence. Shraddha also gets to sink her teeth into this challenging character, and the attractive youngster is simply amazing, more so towards the demanding moments in the second hour. Furthermore, the chemistry between Aditya and Shraddha is incredible. India Times gave the film a rating of 3.5 out of 5 and said, Suri pitches the story with old-world romance, high drama and well-crafted heartbreaking moments. Indo-Asian News Service rated the film 3.5 out of 5 and wrote, Director Mohit Suri traverses the angst-soaked territory with a sincere and deep understanding of the dynamics that destroy love and trust between couples in the glamorous and competitive profession, and that, Aashiqui 2 makes us grateful for the movement of the love story away from the standard Romeo and Juliet format into the dark destructive domain of A Star is Born. Kamal Natar gave it 3.5 stars out of 5, stating Aashiqui 2 is an entertaining film with hit music and the sacrificing nature of the heroine as its biggest trump cards. The film also received some mixed reactions from critics. Writing for Hindustan Times, Anupama Chopra rated the film 2.5 out of 5 and believed that the film didn't fulfill its potential, but said, it's an interesting scenario and Suri and his actors set it up well. Aditya gives Rahul's angst a certain charm. He is earnest and broken. And the real triumph here is Shraddha, whose porcelain face has a haunting vulnerability. She's very good as the woman in the throes of a grand passion who believes that love will show the way. Resham Sengha rated the film 2.5 and questioned the logic behind the script and believed that several of the scenes either dragged on excessively or were too abrupt, which affected the quality of the entire film. India Today also gave the film a rating of 2.5 stars out of 4, and argued that the film was only a success because of its soundtrack, saying that the film merely banks on the power of saleable music and the novelty of a fresh cast to enable brothers Bhatt, Mukesh and Mukesh, to make maximum mola within minimum budget as they have done all along. Pre-release business, Aashiqui 2 was released in 2,000 theaters across the country through AA Films. The figures don't include the print and advertising costs. Box office, on its opening day, Aashiqui 2 collected about 52.5 million and collected 179 million during its first weekend. The film collected 347 million in its first week. In the second week, despite new releases, it collected 135 million, which took its two-week box office collections to 470 million. The film remained steady on weekdays and collected 165 million in its third week, and total collections rose to 635 million. The film had the highest third-week collections of 2013 to the date. The film's revenues remained consistent in its fourth weekend and took its total to 710 million. Box Office India declared the film a blockbuster after its three-week box office run. As of May 20, the film was the second highest-grossing Hindi film of 2013 and the highest-grossing film produced by Vishesh Films. According to Box Office India, Aashiqui 2 is the best trending film at the box office since Three Idiots, as the fourth week's collections were nearly 75 million net, which was more than every film released in the last 10 years apart from Three Idiots. The fourth week collections of the film were the third highest of all time. The film collected 57.5 million net approximately in its fifth week. The film went on to gross approximately 780 million in its sixth week at the domestic box office. Internationally, the film had a limited release, meant the film was only released in UAE and Pakistan. The film collected 1 billion worldwide in its fourth week. During the entire theatrical run, the film earned 1.09 billion worldwide. Awards: Filmfare Awards, winner, Filmfare Award for Best Music Director Ankit Tiwari, Mithun and Jeet Ganguly, winner, Best Playback Singer Arijit Singh, nominated, Best Actress Shraddha Kapoor, nominated, Best Playback Singer Shreya Ghoshal, Screen Awards, winner, Best Playback Singer Arijit Singh, winner, Best Playback Singer Shreya Ghoshal, winner, Screen Award for Jodi No. 1 Aditya Roy Kapur and Shraddha Kapoor, nominated, Best Music Director Ankit Tiwari, Mithun and Jeet Ganguly, nominated, Best Actress Female Shraddha Kapoor, nominated, Most Popular Actor Malia Aditya Roy Kapur, nominated, Most popular actress Femlia Shraddha Kapoor, references. External links, Aashiqui 2 at the Internet Movie Database, Aashiqui 2 at Bollywood Hungama.